Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Nerd Pub. I'm Adam, and tonight I will be your host on our very first trivia battle. And our contenders for tonight's trivia battle is here we go, Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions, and on the bottom here we have Matthew from the Geeks Attic.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And it seems we already have some people in the comics. We have Matt Wilkins.
and Quality Autism has joined us too.
Oh, hey, Quality Autism. How you guys doing?
Because Matt's drowning out the comment section.
Well, Matt Wilkins just already asked I forgot to mention, yes, the winner will get I'll probably either email you or mail you a $20 Amazon gift card. I know you probably won't be able to use it right now to have it ship things, but maybe you can buy a book online or something like that. Or you can just hang on to it until they're starting to ship things again. But yeah, the winner gets a $20 Amazon gift card.
Oh, wow.
And the second place winner will get a hug from Matt Wilkins. There we go.
Oh, great.
Oh,
That's
hey.
what I always wanted.
Hey, Tanner from Scarlet Writer's Geek Corner. How you doing today, man? Thanks for joining us today. All right, so I already explained to these guys how the trivia night's going to work. We're going to go up to 40 points. I have 80 questions here. They're either going to be worth 1 or 2 points, and I will let you guys know which question will be worth how many. And if neither of you know the answer, I will give you probably a 3 or 4 multiple choice option, and both of you will have the option of guessing. And whoever guesses it right will get the point. So, and how this works also is whenever I ask the question, the first person I see raise their hand answers first.
Okay.
I know everything about everything, so Jeremy. Sorry. I don't know anything.
And also, I should probably, since no hits below the belt. So there we go. All right, here we go. Question number 1. This is from Harry Potter. This is worth 1 point. You guys ready? Who is the half-blood prince in the 6th movie? Jeremy.
It's Snape.
That is correct. So that is worth 1 point. Also, I should probably ask people in the comments, please do not give them the answers.
Matt, you have my number. Text me the answers.
All right, that is 1 point for Jeremy. Now, this one is from Lord of the Rings. My wife did the Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings question, so I'm hoping I can read her handwriting. How does Faramir's father, the steward of Gandon, I think, die in Return of the King? Matthew.
He gets lit up in flames and he runs and jumps off the wall.
That is correct. That is worth 1. That is worth 1 point. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So we are now tied 1-1. All right. Looks like I should probably point out texting or private messaging of any kind towards the contestants will result
in forfeit.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, we already did it. Let's move on. Okay. This is from Jurassic Park. This is from the first movie. What does Dr. Alan Grant say the word raptor means? Geeks Attic.
Bird? Bird predator?
Close. Jeremy.
Bird of prey?
That is correct. That is worth 1 point. So the score is now 2-1.
Okay. All right.
Okay, this is also from Jurassic Park. This is worth 2 points. What animal DNA was used to complete the DNA codes to make a dinosaur? Oh, I think I saw Matthew first.
So a mosquito.
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. I'm sorry. The animal that was used to complete the DNA codes to make the dinosaur. Jeremy.
It was frogs.
That is correct. That is. I'm sorry about that, Matthew.
No. That was on the tip of my tongue, too. And I was like, no, wait, mosquito. It's a trick question.
The score is now 4-1. All right. This one is from Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. In the Chamber of Secrets, what plant makes a very loud cry?
know this.
A loud cry.
Yes. Jeremy.
Is it the Mandrake?
That is correct.
Oh man.
That is worth 1 point. The score is now 5-1. All right. Let's see. Okay. This is from Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. What system does General Grievous go into hiding? Jeremy.
Utapau?
That's correct. That's worth 1 point. Score is now 6-1. All right. This is also from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This is worth 1 point. How many Jedi attempt to arrest Darth Sidious? Geeks Attic. That is correct. That's worth 1 point. Score is now 2-6. All right, this is from Lord of the Rings. This is worth 2 points. What is the Elvish word for friend said by Gandalf in the first movie? Jeremy.
Belloc.
That is incorrect. Matthew.
Melloc?
That is correct.
Oh. Ah. Weep womp.
So the score is now 6-4. This is also from Lord of the Rings series. This is a hard one. This is worth 2 points. Name the first 4 meals of the day for a hobbit listed by Pippin in the first movie. The first 4 meals. Jeremy.
Breakfast, second breakfast, 11sies, and afternoon tea?
That is incorrect.
Okay. We've got breakfast, second breakfast. What crap? What did he just say? 11sies, and then supper.
That's also incorrect. The correct term was luncheon.
Luncheon.
Oh.
All right. Let me go on to another question here. Okay. This is from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Luke tells his Uncle Owen that he's going to Tashi Stadium to pick up what? Matthew.
Power converters.
That is correct. That is worth 2 points. So the score is now tied 6-6. Okay, this one is worth 1 point. This is also from A New Hope. How much does Ben Kenobi offer Han Solo to transport him and Luke to Alderaan?
His hand.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeremy. Didn't see your hand up.
Isn't it 17,000?
That is correct.
Okay.
The score is now 7-6. All right, another Star Wars question. Hold on, let me read it real quick. Okay, this is worth 2 points. In Empire Strikes Back, when Vader is offering the bounty for the Millennium Falcon, what rule does he give Boba Fett specifically? Matthew.
No disintegrations.
That is correct. 2 points. The score is now 8-7. All right. Let me go to a. All right, this is from The Lost World, Jurassic Park. This is worth 1 point. In The Lost World, what part of California was InGen wanting to build another park? Jeremy.
San Diego?
That is correct. All right, the score is now tied 8-8. All right, this is worth 2 points. This is also from The Lost World. What baby dinosaur does Sarah Harding try to photograph? Jeremy.
The Stegosaurus.
That is correct. The score is now 10-8. This is fun. All right, let me go to another. Okay, this is worth 1 point. This is from the first Jurassic Park movie, and it's a quote. Who says the line, "What you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world"? Matthew.
Is it Ian Malcolm?
That is correct. Score is now 9-10. Or 10-9, yeah. Also from Jurassic Park. Okay, I have to point this out.
Matt's comments are so distracting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
With the Hobbits, we've got first for meal, beer, liquor, Coke, and crystal meth.
This adds I think Matt Wilkins is adding a new challenge to the game.
Yes.
All right. This is also from the first Jurassic Park. What is the name of the man that Dennis Nedry meets at the cafe from Engine? I'll give you a hint. Blank. We got blank here. See, nobody cares. Jeremy.
Johnson?
That's correct. That is worth 1 point. So the score is now 11-9. Okay, this one is worth 1 point. In the first Jurassic Park film, when Dr. Alan Grant and Lexi and Tim are up in the tree, which kid does the Brachiosaurus sneeze on? Matthew.
Alexis.
Lex. Yeah.
Lex. Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. Score is now 10-11. All right, we are back in Harry Potter trivia. In Harry, this is worth 2 points. In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what house does Susan Bones get sorted into?
Yeah, sorry. Hufflepuff?
That is correct. Score is now 13-10. Okay, this is from the Two Towers. It's a true or false question, and it's worth 2 points. And the Two Towers, man, I can't even read. Eowyn says her greatest fear is death and pain. Matthew.
False.
That is correct. All right, score is now 13-12. And if I'm butchering these names, guys in the chat, sorry. All right. This is also from the Lord of the Rings series. It is worth 2 points. Before becoming Gollum, Smeagol kills his friend for the ring on his birthday. How does he kill his friend? Matthew.
Strangulation. Strangles him.
That is correct.
I see you, quality. He's rooting for me.
The score is now 14-13. And Jurassic Park. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. That got Matt Wilkins. Okay. In the third Jurassic Park film, what type of business does, I believe his name's Paul Kirby, actually own? Jeremy.
It's a plumbing business?
That's incorrect. Matthew.
A cable business.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is paint and tile.
Okay.
All right. Okay, this is worth 1 point. In the third film, what does Dr. Alan Grant's assistant Billy steal from the Raptors? Jeremy.
They're eggs.
That is correct. The score is now tied.
Couldn't be their wallet.
He could have stole their food. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, this is from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It is worth 2 points. In the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry, Ron, Hermione play a deadly game of chess. Which player ends the game by putting the other side in checkmate? Jeremy.
It's technically Harry.
That is correct. The score is now 16-14. Okay, this is worth 1 point. In the third Jurassic Park film, what dinosaur actually kills the T-Rex? Jeremy.
The Spinosaurus.
That is correct.
As you can see, I've seen the third film like one time.
I had a Jurassic Park 3 themed birthday party for my 7th birthday.
Oh. Well.
I really like that film.
Right.
The score is now 17-14. All right, I'm gonna. Okay. From the Lost World of Jurassic Park, or the Lost World Jurassic Park, how many T-Rexes are actually in the film? I saw Jeremy.
3.
That is correct. That is worth 1 point. The score is now 18-14. Okay, this is also from Lost World Jurassic Park. It's worth 2 points. Which of Sarah's items does she claim as lucky? Jeremy.
Her pack?
That's right. The score is now 20-16. Okay, this is worth 2 points. It is from Return of the Jedi. Matt Wilkins.
No.
In Return of the Jedi, how many victims does the Rancor kill? Matthew.
2.
That's correct. Score is now 16-20. This is also from Return of the Jedi. What military rank is Lando? Jeremy.
General.
That's correct. That is worth 1 point. The score is now 21-16. Okay. This is worth 2 points. It's kind of a bonus question. It's worth 2 points. In a deleted scene from Return of the Jedi, where does Luke build his green lightsaber? Matthew.
A cave on Tatooine.
That is correct. The score is now 18-21. This is also a bonus question worth 2 points from a deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith. Which Jedi Master does Grievous kill in a deleted scene in front of Anakin and Obi-Wan? Jeremy.
Shock T.
That is correct. Score is now 23-18. Okay. This is from Harry Potter. It is worth 2 points. What is Severus Snape's Patronus? Jeremy.
It's a doe.
That is correct.
Thanks, Quality Autism.
I wasn't going to say anything, but, you know.
The score is now 25-18. Okay. This is worth 2 points from the first Jurassic Park film. What dinosaur kills and eats Dennis Nedry? Jeremy.
Is it a Dilophosaurus?
That is correct. The net score is now 27-18. This is also worth 2 points from the first Jurassic Park film. How many raptors are in the first film? Matthew.
2.
That is incorrect. There's 3.
Gosh.
Okay. Okay, this one's worth 2 points also from the first Jurassic Park film. How fast did Hammond say that the T-Rex could run? Matthew.
Was it 60 miles an hour?
That is incorrect. Jeremy?
Don't remember.
The correct answer was 32 miles an hour.
32.
Okay. This is worth 1 point from the Lord of the Rings series. What realm is Aragorn heir to the throne? Jeremy.
Gondor?
That is correct.
I'm sorry. There's a comment of Matt's that needs to be put up on here.
Which one?
The Jeremy is a whiz.
The Wiz on the.
True. This is true.
I'm sorry, Matthew, but that was
It's good.
good.
Okay, this is also from Lord of the Rings. It is worth 1 point. It's a true or false question. True or false? Legolas is from Rivendell. Matthew.
False.
That is correct. This is also worth 1 point from the Lord of the Rings series. What does Aragorn give to Pippin when he asks for a second breakfast in the first film? I think I saw Matthew.
An apple.
That is correct. Score is now 28-20. Another Lord of the Rings question worth 1 point. What does Gandalf say is the language written on the ring in the first film? Jeremy.
One of Mordor?
That is correct. The score is now 29-20.
I do need to clarify. I read 4 books last month, guys.
That's probably more than I read.
Technically 3. I wrapped one of them up, but 3. I read 3 novels.
Matt Wilkins. Oh my god. Okay. All right, this is from The Phantom Menace. It is worth 2 points. And I know that both of you will know this. Where is Palpatine's home planet? Oh, geez. Matthew.
Coruscant.
That is incorrect.
What? Oh, god dang it.
Boo.
So easy. So easy. As soon as it exited my mouth.
The score is now 31-20. Sure.
Matt, to answer your questions, because you're not on here, that we don't have the Highlander questions.
Yeah.
I should just make a rule that every time Highlander is mentioned, a point is deducted from.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it. I'm fine with it.
Okay, here's one that is worth 2 points, also from The Phantom Menace. Which color, you know the chance cube that Watto has for gambling?
Mhm.
Which color is for Anakin's mother? Matthew.
Is it red?
That is correct. The score is now 31-22. Let's see. This is worth 2 points from Attack of the Clones. What is the name of the planet where the clones are created? Jeremy.
Camino.
That is correct. Let's see. The score is now 33-22.
Can everyone hear my roommates playing games? I just heard machine gun fire.
Okay, this is also from Attack of the Clones, worth 2 points. What does Jango Fett use to kill the assassin he hired? Jeremy.
A Kaminoan saber dart.
That is correct. Score is now 35-22. Okay. This is worth 1 point. In Return of the King, Bilbo asks Frodo if he still has his old ring. How does Frodo respond? Jeremy.
He says that he had lost it some time ago.
That is correct. The score is now 36-22.
That and his mandrake, man.
I was about to say he's. This is worth 1 point from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. What does Professor Lupin tell Harry to eat after encountering Dementors? Jeremy.
Chocolate.
That is correct.
What?
First time I read it, I thought it was pretty strange too. Then I remember it was a kid's book.
The score is now 37-22.
Hey, Matt. In the comments there, you have a typo. Just want to say, let you know.
Which one is it?
I can only hear the sound here.
Right there. Yep.
This is what really matters.
Okay. True or false, worth 1 point. Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter kills Nagini at the end of the series. Matthew.
True?
That is correct.
I have no idea.
Score is now 37-3.
I don't think I even saw that film.
That's okay.
There we go. You know what, dadgummit, man. I'm about to throw my cards in here.
Matt Wilkins is calling me. Should I answer the phone and put it on speaker for you all?
Sure, go ahead.
Hang on.
He's calling him to give him answers.
He ended. He hung up on me because he knew I was going to put him on the speaker.
Okay. This is from the Lord of the Rings series. It is worth 1 point. How are Sam and Frodo saved at the end of the Return of the King after the... I think I saw Matthew.
The Eagles.
That is correct.
Not the band.
So,
Clarify that.
Flying Eagles.
It's just Desperado playing.
They just wake up and back in the Shire.
The score is now 37-24. Okay, this one's worth 2 points from Attack of the Clones. How many planets are seen, and which planets are in Attack of the Clones?
So that's 2 questions?
Yeah, it's worth 2 points. Matthew.
We got Camino, Geonosis, Naboo, Coruscant. That's it. No, yeah. I'm
I
just
call a
going to
technical foul on that. So he just worked it out while saying it.
Where's my guess?
I call it.
That is incorrect. Matthew, do you want to guess?
I'm sorry.
Do what?
Or Jeremy, do you want to guess?
Hang on. Let me actually figure this out without doing it out loud and stealing the question.
Matt Wilkins said he'll come on once we're done. We should.
5.
That is correct. If you no,
Coruscant, Geonosis, Camino, Naboo, and Tatooine.
that's correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm the one drinking right now.
All these stupid things. It's just come. There you go. Okay.
Okay, the score is now 39-24. And
Oh, hold on. The train is coming.
okay.
There we go, everyone. The train makes its annual appearance on any live stream I do.
It'd be funny if you did that shake around.
I do have you ever watched the behind the scenes of Empire Strikes Back when Ivan Kershner's yelling, "Okay, fall left" when they're in the space slug? It's literally like there's outtakes of it on the Blu-ray set. It's like, fall to the left, and it's like the camera operator picks up the camera.
I would have laughed if
Look, someone's calling.
Oh, no.
Matthew.
Hello.
Quick, he's not looking. Switch answers.
Switch answers. Oh no, I can't find where. There we go. Because we have Matt on the phone.
He's right above you. Just switch it. He's not looking.
Okay.
Hey, where'd my questions go?
Oh, yeah. I got him right here. Can you guys hear Matt on the phone?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Can you hear me? Hello? Jeremy, you suck? Did he hear me?
I don't think they can hear. What about now?
Oh.
I heard him.
Well, good. Then we're not cheating.
I don't listen to
so here's
BS.
the answer to the next 17 questions.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead. Write them down.
Mandrake in the nude.
All right. Drake in the nude.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. Thanks. All right.
Dude, Matt, you need to stop swinging your mandrake around.
All right. I'm ready to continue.
All right. The next question, it is worth 1 point. And this, since we're going to 40 today, Jeremy, this could be your game point. So, which trooper does Sidious first give the order to execute Order 66? Jeremy.
Cody. Commander
And
Cody.
your winner.
It was actually Mandrake in the nude.
He was seeing mandrake around when he was killing Obi-Wan. So what was going on?
Well, congratulations, Jeremy. And
Thank
you
you.
guys have fun? Did you guys enjoy it?
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because I was wanting to do these like maybe once a week or once every other week. So because we have I have like 8 categories and we already used 4 of them. So I was going to say maybe the next time around we could use the other 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna send an
Congratulations, Jeremy.
Thank
You've
you.
won this time.
Yeah.
I've never done trivia. This is the first time I've actually done like a trivia game like this.
This is probably
Hey, there's
second one. I think I've
Sorry,
done
quality.
Soup before.
Hey, Quality, if we substituted Harry Potter with Dragon Slayer or Ghostbusters,
I think you would have been like
whole new level.
What if we did Ghostbusters 2016?
I wouldn't show up.
Dude, that's what we need to do for our next commentary.
Every answer will be false.
Every answer would or be more like every answer would result in getting kicked around Matthew's backyard.
Yeah.
By his mandrake.
Yep, in the nude.
Matt Wilkins, if you're still in the chat, check your email.
And then check your privilege.
Sorry, Quality. Thanks for rooting for me.
But
Maybe next time.
yeah, no, that was I had a lot of fun though. I'm glad you guys. Thanks for doing this. And I was thinking after the trivia we can do like I already mentioned this to Jeremy, so I was gonna ask Matthew. Do you want to do like have people in the chat do a Q&A with all four of us? Like they can ask us all a question all at once or individually, or we can just chat for a while.
Yeah, that sounds cool to me.
Bit of both.
Let's see.
I guess.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
It's just I guess. Ultra. Michelob Ultra.
Good to weed when you're angry at someone, Matt?
I'm sorry your mandrake hurts.
I'm not sure which is.
Hello, Matt.
Okay, I'm being honest. I would have lost big time. Every Lord of the Rings question. That's from the movies. I had zero idea.
I think that was my strongest point.
I'm just glad they weren't Hobbit questions because I would have lost hardcore.
And and some of those Jurassic Park questions I wouldn't have gotten either. So that was a hard one.
Yeah.
Well, my wife actually did the Harry Potter and the Jurassic Park ones because she probably would have if it was between me and her, or not the Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings one. And if she would have asked me those questions, I probably would have been like, what?
Yeah. Some tough stuff.
Now I want to see a big Ghostbusters knockdown drag out fight between these two because Jeremy's pretty hip on his movies.
But I have not. I'd have to rewatch. If we're going to do that, then I'm going to have to watch Ghostbusters 1 and 2 again.
How about next trivia night? That's actually one of the categories, just Ghostbusters.
Heck yeah.
All right.
You can't tell them that. Now they're going to watch Ghostbusters.
I'd like to be on the sidelines for that, whoever you have. And
I still want Matthew and I to do a Ghostbusters 2 commentary.
All right. I'd love to.
Depends that film, and I haven't watched it in so long, and I remember not liking it at all.
Yeah, well, after you watched the 2016 version, right?
I mean, that's not a film. I say Ghostbusters. It's like last time Adam and I had a live stream. Mm-hmm. There are certain things I don't consider films, like Daredevil or Elektra or Ghostbusters 2016 or anything made by Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
Matt, I was telling Jeremy, and I watched your Saturday mornings podcast that you did about your best road trips.
Yes.
Yeah, I told him, I was finishing my Lego that I was building over there. I'm just like, dude, Matt Wilkins is talking about you in his podcast about your road trip about the Star Wars Legends. He's like, that was the greatest road trip I ever been on.
I know, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not making this up. How far is it from? It was like 13 and a half hours or something. Yeah. I'm not making that up, right? Okay. The entire time. I mean, when we stopped for gas, when we went to get something to eat, we just kept talking about the expanded universe. And then when we were like 30 minutes away from home, I was like, guys, do you realize we've been talking about the expanded universe this entire time? And everyone was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's in this conversation. You know,
I still say one of our best Star Wars Legends podcasts was done at your house.
That was a lot of fun too.
That was fun, except for trying to type on Dylan's keyboard because he doesn't use a standard keyboard layout.
What?
Basically, he had to learn my password, and then I had to change it immediately. So I don't want to give Dylan that power.
I was gonna say when me and Matthew met up when I gave him the Revenge of the Sith book, we talked about like, oh geez, I
Did
can't.
you hug?
So what? did I hug? Did we hug? No, we did not.
That's a weird opportunity.
I was gonna say we talked about like several. How long was it? Like 3 hours, and we were just talking about like Star Wars.
Just random Star Wars stuff. Yeah, basically.
With your arms around each other. And a hug. Are you sure
Nice to
you've
meet
never
you.
seen Tiger King? I just finished that.
I have watched it, and I'm obsessed with it.
I'm the only one who hasn't because I've been too busy.
But you're Oklahoma people. Surely you knew this dude ran for governor.
I started this.
I never heard of him.
I will say though, I found out my roommate actually worked for him for like 3 years.
Shut up.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and like he posted a picture the other day, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't know that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. See, I wish, like, after we watched the series, like, man, I wish we would have known about this.
That's sensual.
It's all gone.
Also, he said, "Hey, don't way."
Boy, Yui.
Way.
Mm.
He did, and he's not. He also used to box his critics. Like they would put on gloves and he'd fight them.
Who?
Uwe Boll, who made Blood Rain and Far Cry and House of the Dead and Alone in the Dark, all those really awful video game movies from like the early 2000s.
You went on that too.
Quality Autism. Have you seen Tiger King? Is that available where you are? And Matt, did you say you did watch it?
I just finished it.
Just finished it.
We just finished episode. It's only 7 episodes, 45 minutes episodes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
But
Everything about it was good. Except
what?
that. I said everything was good, except that bitch Carol Baskin. I love it. It's like everybody's response to everything.
Dude, it is hilarious. It's really good. I was thinking about doing a podcast about best documentaries I've seen before, and I wonder if that would make it in there because Tiger King was really interesting.
It was
really interesting.
Yeah.
Would Super Size Me be your number one?
Super Size Me would be in there. I don't know yet. I need to think about it.
Because you need to watch The Greatest Movie Ever Sold, which is Morgan Spurlock's masterpiece that no one's ever talked about.
Oh, really?
It's about him making a movie just about product placement.
Hold on.
It's
called Greatest Movie
Ever Sold.
Ever Sold. There it is.
Highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite documentaries.
All right, done. I'll add it to the watch list. Boom. It's right there with Haley Berry's Catwoman.
That's also not a film.
Yeah, I haven't even seen that.
I've never either.
I had an ex who was really into that movie. Like not because it's funny bad, but because it's like she genuinely thought it was a good movie. She called me a misogynist because I thought it was garbage.
I was gonna say the internet. I saw a meme with Homer Simpson standing in a bar like that he's not been in before, and it says, and the meme said, "What the internet is literally right now," and it showed like either the coronavirus logo or Joe Exotic posted all over everybody's faces, and Homer Simpson's just like,
yeah, it's true. It's like everybody's waiting for the sequel for the Tiger King, and it's like the sequel's already here. It's the 7-hour plus hours of memes that you can find. It's true. Just browse the internet for them. They're gold.
So, did you have any good April Fool's Day jokes?
Yeah, the coronavirus. The greatest of all jokes.
Surprise! It doesn't exist. You fools have been staying at home this whole time. We've been punking you. There's no one infected.
I got my wife. I recently canceled my Audible subscription to do Overdrive, and I told her that, like, hey, honey, I have bad news. Like, Audible charges a charges $30 to cancel your subscription. And I just want to let her know, just in case you saw it on the credit card or something. She's like, what? And I was just like, April Fool's. She's just like,
my wife used to do like really bad ones every year. This time I told her, like, just don't. Like, she would text my mom. You're like, hey, Matt's work is having a bomb threat. Everybody had to leave the building. They got a guy arrested outside. It's like, oh my God, just stop. You freak everybody out and everybody get mad at her. And it's like, oh gosh,
dude,
please
don't. My wife did something kind of bad like that too. She was in a wedding of one of our friends, and she was one of the bridesmaids, and they were having their bachelorette party at this hotel, and she was texting me saying that, someone was trying to kick down their door and everything. And that was 2 hours away from where I lived. And, like, she just said, like, someone keeps banging on the door, like trying to kick it down and break in. And I almost hopped in my car to drive down there. And she was just like, hey, April Fools. I'm like, oh, just like that one's horrible.
Matt, you seems like you would do something tricky.
The best one I ever had was decades ago, because I used to really take my time on April Fool's Day. And one time I built, I think it was a whole 3 months, I think, leading up to this April Fool's Day joke, because I said we got to start early. And I had a friend of mine. She was married my roommate, and they moved away. And she was always, any girl I ever dated or thought about dating, she's like, I don't like her. No, I don't like her. And it was like, she was like my older sister or something. I don't like her. No, I don't like her. I was like, you know what? When you leave, I'll get to date whoever I want. I'm going to go find some teeny bopper in the mall. And she went, oh, you would. And goes off. So I said, that'd be funny. Let's do that. So I had an old friend of mine in college, and she was tiny. I said, you look young. I said, hey, will you mind playing a prank on one of my friends? She went, absolutely. I said, okay, your name is I can't remember what her name was. It's like Bambi or something. It was really something stupid. And we built it up for 3 months, I remember. And her parents were in on it too. And in 3 months, I had decided that I was just going to marry her. And we were going to release doves at our wedding. And I can't remember. It was all this silly, stupid stuff. We were going to get married in the mall where we met at the candy store or something like that. It was just all this stupid stuff. I remember when she was going to come over, I said, you're going to get to meet her. And so I sat her down and said, okay, are you ready for this? She went, I'm ready. I said, okay, this is great. And we were laughing. I said, don't laugh when she gets here. Well, then it kind of spread around that it was the April Fool's prank that everyone had been on, like her friends and everything. They all decided to come over to my house that night. I was like, guys, you're giving this away. You can't all be here. Why would y'all be here on like a Wednesday night or something? And like, no, we want to see her face. I went, this is ridiculous because she's coming over. She didn't know I'm going to have this many people. And it almost messed up because her friend who she was with that night had a class with the girl and knew immediately who the girl was. And I grabbed her real quick. I said, hey, let me talk to you for a minute, Sharon. I was like, don't say anything. We're doing an April Fool's joke. I hadn't seen her in a while because I knew that she knew the girl. And then she immediately just fell into it. And I remember on April Fool's, no, that was before April Fool's, because then a few months later for April Fool's, I told her to get married. And then I told her April Fool's, and she went, April Fool's, you're not getting married? I went, no, April Fool's, there is no Bambi or whatever her name was. And she goes, what do you mean? I went, there never was. She went, Matt, you lied to my parents. I went, I didn't lie to your parents. She went, you made my parents lie to me? I said, I didn't make your parents do nothing. They wanted to be in on it. It was like a, yeah. I mean, she said, Matt, you've been doing this for months? I went, yeah, April Fool's Day. It was the most elaborate one. I was super happy about that. But other than that, I've done just little ones around. And this year I did one. I'll tell you when we're off the air, but this year I did one. It was pretty funny.
Okay. I remember I pulled one on my wife one time. I was driving to work, and I remembered that it was April Fool's Day, and I called him, and I called my wife, and I said, you're not going to believe what I just saw on the road. And at this time I was living in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And I called her and I said, she's like, you're not gonna believe what I just saw on the road. She's like, what? Like, there's an alligator on the road. She's like, what? Just like there was an alligator on the road. It was eating like a falcon or something. Like, and she was just like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. Like on your way to work, you'll probably be able to see it. I'm just like, just like, I cannot believe that. Like, I didn't know there'd be an alligator on there. I was like, I know too. What's even worse is April Fool's. She's like, dadgummit.
It reminds me of a true story that I was driving on the highway in Oklahoma City, passing downtown, and the other side of the highway was closed. I was like, I wonder what's going on. And finally, I got to a point where I saw why it was closed. There was a bull running along the highway, just a big black bull with huge horns, just running down the highway. I was like, oh, okay. Got away from the stockyards down there. It's crazy.
So, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to say, Jeremy, do you want to talk about the time you climbed into a mechanical bull and came out its anus as the first?
No, I was actually
Oh, wait,
going
that was Jim Carrey. My bad. Completely.
I mean, I have a similar face, obviously, but I was going to talk about the greatest April Fool's prank pulled on me. And that was April Fool's Day of 2019. Child Services calls me and says, "Oh, we're opening up a child services case." That literally happened to me, and we found out because I don't think I told Matt that I'm not your dad, just like I figured. It was the longest running April Fool's pain in my ass that could have possibly happened. But it happened on April 1st. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Is this a prank?
Jeez. Matt, I think All American Cornbread said that, I think it was for you. That sounds like a plot to an awful movie. But Geeks Attic, something kind of similar like that happened to me, but it wasn't an April Fool's joke. Like, I was visiting my family from college, and it was like my parents' neighbors have like have cows in their backyard and like a gate and everything. And one night the gate, I guess they forgot to lock it, but one of the cows got out and wandered the neighborhood, and it was like dark at night, and they were standing in my parents' front yard, and it was like 11:30, and I just saw it in there, and I was just like, or out there, I was like, I went to go tell my dad. I'm like, he's probably gonna think I'm drunk or something. So I go up to him like, Dad, and he was like half asleep. I'm like, he's like, what? I'm like, there's a cow in the front yard. And he goes like, what? I'm like, there's a cow in the front yard. I'm not lying. And he gets up, and he just kind of gets up and walks up there. He's just like, oh, how about that?
Dinner.
He's always had beef with me.
We used to get that at my grandparents' place in Montana, because Montana, you can still have free range cattle. They just kind of wander around through people's yards and stuff if you're up in the woods. So you'd shoot them with like paintball guns and just chase them away. They just dump everywhere.
Good fertilizer.
It smells horrible because it's 4 stomachs of grass.
Yeah.
Matthew, I'd like you to know I'm 5 chapters away from finishing Lord of Chaos.
That's great.
And then I'm going to be reading my brother's new book.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's coming out, part 3 of the Unique Miranda trilogy.
Part 3. There's 2 others.
There's two others.
I'm glad you did that math for us, Matthew.
And
for those who can't.
And then I'm going to have him on the podcast. That one isn't out. Part 3 isn't out yet. He just finished it, and he wanted me to review it, and so I'm going to review it and do a podcast. I usually have him on. And so that's going to be fun. That's the next thing I'm going to read. And then I'm going to go into a Crown of Swords. So if you want in on this action.
Oh, man.
I mean,
I want to be able to listen to the audiobook before then.
Matthew, it's a real shame that the trivia was not basic math.
Yeah.
Wow. What an arrogant winner.
Yeah,
Okay, Jeremy, your gift card just went down to $5. I'm just kidding.
all right.
I'll be honest though, I wouldn't have been able to beat you. You got some of those so quick. The Jurassic Park ones I had to think about.
I don't know how I did it. Like half the time I'm like, oh, blah blah blah. I remember this. It's like when someone said, oh, that poster. I'm like, oh, that was done by Drew Struzan, like forever ago, and I'm like,
it's always like the knowledge that's like unnecessary that just comes out at random times. You know, it's like, oh yeah, like that quote from this, and you're like, how did that pop in my head? But when it's required, no idea.
No one.
The thing that sucks, Jeremy.
Paper though, by the way.
The thing that sucks, Jeremy, is you have to go pick up your prize.
Yeah. Come on.
To be fair, I was going to actually spend it on Matthew's Amazon affiliate link, so he does get something out of it.
There you go. Everybody wins.
Buy him a little gift. That'd be nice.
But I was going to ask you guys, speaking of films, I was going to ask you guys, what are your top and your favorite and least favorite novelizations that you guys have ever read?
Like movie novelizations?
Yeah.
Favorites? The Star Wars prequels.
Now hold on. We need to say the movie came first, right? Not book based off movie.
Oh no, yeah, movie came first.
Okay. Because I haven't read many. Dang, besides Star Wars, I don't think I have any other ones. I mean, I got the Highlander one, but I haven't read that one yet.
But that's not. Oh yeah, they did do that.
The first one, yeah.
I had that. I don't know why I didn't.
I've read one full novelization, and I've read bits and pieces of two. One was for the Daredevil movie, and I only read one part of it. And the other one was the first Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire. I read a little bit of that, but I think the first one I read full was the Batman one.
I read the Ghostbusters 2016. So
yeah, I loved your review.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite reviews.
It was very stomping.
Yes, thank you. It was great. It was fantastic. That was such a horrible book. So I do know the story. You know, I'll never watch the film, but I do know the story. It was awful. Huh?
You want me to read Queen's Peril? You know what peril you must face in order for me to do that.
I had to read it too.
You know, you chose to read it. I had sworn off the new canon at that point.
Yeah, well, yeah. But that was bad. The Force Awakens novelization wasn't good. That's all I can really think of that stand out that were bad.
Worst movie novelization I've read would be The Predator.
What? The Raiders of the What?
No. Roundhouse Short Round was in the not the Last Crusade. He was in.
They're talking about because he and Marion Raven, Indian Marion, had like a relationship when she was a teenager. I've always found that was a weird thing that George put in the timeline.
Oh.
Because he implies that it was that long ago and like literally no one else would do that. Like it seemed like they were like that their relationship had ended like a long time ago. It seemed like it ended like fairly recently, like within 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't read that many movie novelizations, to be honest.
Okay, I'll
get into. They're fun to get into. It's like surprisingly, the one that I haven't read yet is the Ghostbusters. There's two versions of the Ghostbusters novelization. There's the U.S. print and the European print, which the American print is really hard to find. And I think it has like extra stuff that the European novelization doesn't have. So
oh, never mind.
Didn't they reprint? That's what we pre-ordered, right?
That's going to be like the European version for some reason.
Stay quality autism. Stay safe out there, man.
The great Waru.
Thanks for joining us today, man. Okay. Go ahead.
Hey.
I
just want to know next time you get groceries, folks. Here's a expanded universe cookbook recipe. Take a block of Spam, put cornflakes all over it, and have your very own Waru.
Oh gosh,
Spam cake.
That's so disgusting. That's probably what it like. The smell of that.
It tastes just like the real thing.
It probably smells just like the real thing too.
If you have like enough of them, you can swim around in it too.
Oh gosh.
Before I forget, I was gonna move on. Novelizations. You guys have all seen Willow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to I only seen like a part of it growing up, and I just now recently finished it. What is George Lucas's thing with Chosen Ones, or
What if you realize that it has all the classic tropes of a fantasy movie? It was an enjoyable romp back when it came out in the late 80s, early 90s, late 80s.
late 80s?
It was very enjoyable, but you can see there are the classic tropes in this. The hero who's not a hero yet, the anti-hero. You have even the bad guy looks like Darth Vader. He's a medieval Darth Vader. The whole thing is almost like medieval Star Wars in a way.
How dare you?
No, I'm just saying a cube of Spam covered in cornflakes, and you can have your very own Waru just sitting around your house.
Leave it out for a week and smell
if you sacrifice to him, he may heal you from coronavirus, or he may kill you.
Yeah,
the great Waru.
No, I thought Willow was pretty good.
Great transition there, Adam.
I have two different copies of the novelization. They have two different covers. I don't know what the difference is.
I know you love the Crystal Star. Anyway, Adam, I think that Willow today it probably didn't hold up. I haven't seen it in a while, but it is a really good movie. But it is cliche.
Yeah,
Did you notice someone's name in the credits? Who helped George with that? Who was one of the producers? Executive producers.
I did not notice.
Hey, Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh,
she produced a lot of stuff back then.
Because when I heard her name, I was like, wait, the girl that was on the credits to Willow? Because I always remembered her name. Because she and her husband did a lot of, they helped produce a lot of George Lucas's later stuff after Jedi.
Yeah, they produce Howard the Duck?
I want to say yes. Because they did just about everything George touched after Star Wars.
What about Did they do a bunch of Steven Spielberg stuff too? Like, what about Gremlins? Didn't they do Gremlins?
No, he produced that.
He did?
Yeah.
Toby Hooper directed.
Where's my gizmo?
I have never seen Gremlins.
What?
I've seen like maybe a couple of parts of it, but I was like a little kid, so I never saw the full.
That's what we have to do the watch along to. We need to watch Gremlins and then Gremlins 2 because that's one of the greatest sequels ever.
Weren't they like in a movie theater one time watching a Disney film?
Yeah, they're watching Snow White.
Oh, okay.
Hogan, that little cameo, that was funny. Oh, look at there.
Oh, too cute.
See, there's a Ghostbusters equipment piece that's called a gizmo.
He's still got the tag. He's worth so much.
That's awesome.
Is that merch from the first film?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Hasbro softie. Steven Spielberg presents Gremlins.
Yeah.
Keep them out of the light. Don't ever get them wet. And the one thing you must never get, no matter how much they cry, no matter how much they beg, never feed them.
Have you been tempted to drop some?
Like 1984.
Have you been tempted to drop a little bit of water on him?
No, I would see what happens.
Just see what happens. Do it. See what happens.
No, because if that was to happen, I would turn into a gremlin.
See, okay,
I would turn into Gizmo.
That thing. Look at it. He looks like he smells like stale cigarette smoke.
What?
It's so ugly.
Hold on. I can't say it on the air. Never mind. In the Star Wars universe, if it's bloated up and looks a lot dumber, it's a porg.
Oh yeah.
See?
I see.
He ripped it off. Oh, what?
It squeaks.
How are you doing that?
Feed me.
Oh, there's gremlin hair everywhere. Wait, where's your squeaker?
What is the film that Steven Spielberg's daughter did? All American Cornbread? Because I have not heard of this.
I haven't heard of it either.
I don't trust anyone's children making it.
Did it squeak like it is in pain?
I want to know where its squeaker is. Oh, I think it's in its head.
Here, let me double check.
It is.
Just
So Why
want to
is
see
that
that.
showing up on the
You have to punch it to
river?
It's like, ow, ow.
Do you beat your gremlin? You didn't know food.
There's the name of the video, Beating the Gremlin.
Is that your mandrake?
I'm not inviting you guys on a live stream anymore.
So, Matt, real talk right now. When is that showing up as one of your Ewoks?
You know what? I will bring the gremlin into a future video. The Crystal Star.
I dig it.
There you go.
How close are you then?
Hmm?
Crystal Star. You got to be. You have like what? 2 trilogies before that? Because you got Dark Empire trilogy.
It's going to go pretty quick because there aren't that many comic books and that many short stories in in this New Republic era. So I'm going to really start zipping through these pretty quick. Over the next couple of months, I could be done with Bantam. Now, the only thing is, if I want to extend this or keep it going, because when you get to things like Young Jedi Knights, I kind of don't want to group those together. I may group, 2 or 3 together, but they're honestly good enough to where you can almost analyze each one. But we'll see.
I think you should do what you did with Jedi Quest, which was maybe like 2 of them at a time.
Yeah, just do a few. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. But see, these are young adult books. There may be enough in there for me to talk about a lot, but I don't know yet.
Would you do Junior Jedi Knights as one go then?
No, Junior Jedi Knights would have to be done maybe 3 at a time or something.
Well, there's only
I don't
6.
know. It just depends. It just depends. How excited am I to review those? Like a lot of these trilogies, I'm going to take and I'm going to review all at once because I only did Timothy Zahn's differently because it was Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy. But any other trilogy, I'm usually I think I did it for Kevin J. Anderson's trilogy. Did I break those down? I think I put those up together. I can't remember.
Have you? So you've done Jedi Academy then? I'm behind.
No. I've recorded it.
Okay, I just watched the Wraith Squadron review, and I'm like, I need to read these novels now.
Oh, Wraith Squadron's great.
Since I have the Rogue Squadron tattoo.
Oh.
Jeremy and Matthew, Matt Wilkins already knows, but Dylan unintentionally made me feel guilty about not finishing the Darth Bane trilogy. And I was just like, I told him like I was going to read something else and then go back and finish it. But then he's just like, oh, you're not going to finish it? That's all he said. And then all of a sudden I was just like, it bothered me afterwards. Like, now I have to finish it.
Let down.
Dynasty of Evil is my favorite. I'm just saying.
I've already got it pre-ordered on my Overdrive app. So once it's
mainly because it just ends the Old Republic very nicely. And
that's true. Jimmy, what are you reading?
I am a couple chapters away from finishing Darth Maul Shadowhunter.
Oh, right on.
I would have it done already, but I've had to write 2 papers today.
I so far have read. I'm reading the audiobook of I'm not reading it. I'm listening to the audiobook of The Shining.
You're gonna read the audiobook. That's impressive.
I know, right? I'll just read the words in my mind.
Yeah, no. If we're talking audiobooks, I already finished The Shining and are halfway through Doctor Sleep.
Oh, nice. I've read 4 graphic novels. I've read actually 5. I've read 3 Vader ones, Batman Dark Victory, and Batman Hush.
Oh, I love Hush.
Yeah.
Hush may be my favorite story, Batman story.
I love that style of Batman, like the blue and the gray. Like I wish they had that in the art.
Great. It's got good story. Of course, it's got great art because they got Jim Lee to do it. I mean, it looks great all around.
I misread the question. I'm listening to the audiobook, All American Corporate.
He's listening to Bane as he reads the audiobook.
Yeah.
See, what's cool about, like you said, you're on the wish list to get that book from the Overdrive app. It's neat that people are still checking those out, so you have to wait in line to get an old expanded universe novel.
Oh yeah, I mean, like there was a few that I was thinking about reading, and I've like that said like wait list, like some of the Thrawn trilogy. I think I remember saying wait list. So that's really good.
Check Highlander Big Finish. See if you have those audio books on there. I think that app has them. Shut up, Jeremy.
No, I appreciate this. I'm
think
just like I could hear the thought patterns in Geeks Attic's head of God damn it, not another Highlander talk.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm just saying because I probably deleted it. Yeah, I deleted it because my library uses a different app, and I deleted it because it was garbage. But I think Overstock's the one that has the Highlander audiobooks. No,
It doesn't have Big Finish now.
well, it's Big Finish is the company that does it. So
Okay.
That Mandrake's gonna Big Finish, if you know.
it's an audiobook.
So I just want to say,
audio drama. What is the name of one?
do you want to see the books that come up when
I
you
can't
type?
think of the names right now. I'll let you know.
These are the books that you get when you type in Highlander. Hopefully it'll pull up.
I was about to say, a lot of these.
Bunch of sweaty books.
I was about to say.
Oh yeah, you better watch out what you type in there.
I was about to say. I was like, Matt, is this an April Fool's joke or something?
Get those Highlander books.
Yeah, get the sweaty man meat books.
Highlander.
The one with the guy.
They're audio dramas. I remember seeing them. They're so hard to get.
Yeah. The just going back to the novelization thing real quick. A novelization that Jeremy read, I believe, was Dragon Slayer. Right?
I have not read that. No.
Okay, you had a copy.
Oh, I bought that hardcover to
That's right. And I was so jealous of that.
throw in your face.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
You're gonna have to get that. I think I told you I was gonna send you a copy because I have a couple. I still need to do that.
Copy.
Because we're gonna have to read that because it's really good. They're like expanding the lore. It's awesome. So much good stuff in there.
That was a pretty decent film. That dragon was creepy.
Oh yeah, Vermithrax pejorative. I love that movie.
That is one of the best looking dragons I've ever seen. It didn't look like Smaug.
Yeah.
From the Desolation of Smaug.
Yeah, if that movie was made today, the dragon would be talking. You know, they're so stupid.
I just hate that they put Benedict Cumberbatch in motion capture for a dragon.
Yeah.
It looks nothing like Benedict Cumberbatch, so what's the point?
Yeah.
It was like they had Andy Serkis do the face of Kong in the Peter Jackson King Kong film. Like, why? Why even bother? He's an ape. It doesn't look like him at all.
No.
I mean, then again, I don't really get motion capture. It's kind of an awful technology. That being said, I do want to make a Death Wish 6 and have someone in motion capture be an elderly Charles Bronson to be in a walker.
When all of this quarantine stuff happened, I saw this meme come up that showed the meme was called The Isolation of Smog, and it showed Smog laying on, instead of gold, mountains of toilet paper.
That's good. That's good. I'm currently reading Adam's wife's book, Locked. So I'm like 8 or 9 chapters in.
How long he's on those 8 or 9 chapters?
It's been about a week, maybe less than a week, since I started it.
I have no faith in you.
I did finish 400. I read a 400-page book here. My camera's going to move, which I'll bring this up again.
Oh my
This
god!
time on Adam's channel, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying of Vampires
I'm pretty sure that's not really a book. First of all,
by Grady Hendrix.
that's probably
You really love that book.
It was really good. 404 pages plus 2 extra in the
I
back.
haven't seen you this obsessed over a book since We Sold Our Souls.
It was so good. I wasn't the.
Okay.
We Sold Our Souls wasn't
Now that Adam doesn't have his headset on,
oh yeah.
I just want to tell you, I can't think of a Highlander conversation to have right now, but we should totally have one.
We're gonna swing our mandrakes around.
Well, there can be only one. I'm just saying that it's a great book, so y'all should try it out.
Godzilla stuff, though, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that Rambo First Blood Part 2 novelization, that's actually a really good movie novelization.
Since you guys read a lot of movie novelizations, what is one that you think is just stellar? Like it shows a lot of things that the movie doesn't.
Both Rambo First Blood Part 2 and Rambo 3. Mainly because Rambo 3, Stallone's ego insisted he rewrite the script once a month. And so David Morrell gave up and he just wrote based on a script that he had received. And it is significantly better than the film. And it's very different.
Wow.
It's the same plot points, but you also get like a balanced perspective on the villains. They aren't like cookie cutter bad Soviet. There's like some honor there and stuff. It's interesting. Both those books are really interesting. It's also should be noted that David Morrell wrote First Blood, which is what the first Rambo movie is based off of, and he had a contract when he gave the licensing out for making First Blood into a script in the 70s. He said, "I'm the only one who can ever write a novel with the character Rambo in it." So he got contracted to write these movie novelizations, even though his initial book has a definitive end.
That's crazy.
They're really good, though.
Is it All American Cornbread? The pages are torn out of the store liquor. That's not a real book, Matthew.
Matt Wilkins, I will say that in the Batman novelization, they do add like one really big scene that wasn't in the film, and they also the date night between Vicky Vale and Bruce Wayne that was actually altered, like it wasn't over an awkward dinner. Like, can you please pass the salt? Yeah, it was different.
And that's a shame because that's actually a funny scene. I need to watch those movies again.
Okay.
I was going to say about a novelization thing that that film that was not very good, Warcraft, came out not too long ago.
Film.
It wasn't that good. The novelization was just it was the film, exactly how the film was written on pages. However, there was a prequel novel that ties into it by Christy Golden that was actually really fantastic.
Christy Golden's still writing books?
Yeah, she does that Blizzard stuff, but it was amazing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I highly recommend that if you like fantasy stuff.
This is a novelization from a graphic novel. I think I may have shown you guys, but let me just... No Man's Land.
Yeah.
All American Cornbread. I'll agree. The Last Blood is a really great film. It's one of the best Death Wish movies I've ever seen.
I'm actually intrigued to read this one too. I got this one before the quarantine happened.
The Hollow Earth.
Oh, okay. I've read a few of those. I think like the first 2 or 3, and they were okay, but I decided not to get them because I was like, I just thought maybe I better hold off because it just didn't. They were okay, but they just didn't feel like I wanted to make it through them all. But I hear the best one is the one about Noah's Ark. I can't remember what it's called though, but I hear that's the best one. So maybe I should. I started on the very first 2 or 3 that they had because I thought, maybe that did good. No, they really needed Timothy Zahn or some kind of big book to win it all. But I hear whatever the Noah's Ark one is, I hear that one's good.
Were they trying to like recreate with like legends with Star Wars?
Yeah, remember the Indiana Jones book came out around the same time as the Star Wars books.
Yeah, they're both Phantom.
Yeah, Indiana Jones just didn't get that much traction, and they tried to keep it going, but not many people were reading them. So they only went like, Jeremy, 13 books?
Yeah, probably.
Which
Including
was
the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull novelization.
Yeah.
Said that Indiana Jones had 2 runs in the comics. There were Marvel comics, and then there were Dark Horse comics. Then there were Dark Horse. You remember those Star Wars Clone Wars Adventures Digests or the Adventures Digests, Matt? Those really tiny, like, kiddie ones that were based off of Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars?
Okay, yeah.
Did a couple of those for Indiana Jones.
Steve Perry wrote the last one, I thought, though, right?
Yeah, and it's considered really bad.
Army of the Dead. Yeah, I hear it's bad.
It's Steve Perry doing his Steve Perry things, which is 50-50 good and 50-50 bad. There's no middle ground with Steve Perry.
Okay,
So
I pulled it up. Let me see if I can.
To these Indiana Jones books, I know we've had the conversation before, and they're all a connected universe, but do the stories connect together? Like it's like, oh, remember last book when we did this?
I haven't read enough of them to give you a definitive answer on that.
Okay.
Probably not. Maybe the comics do, but I don't know. They are all in the same timeline, though. George is very, like with Star Wars, very anal retentive about that timeline.
The Genesis Deluge, I hear, is the best one.
I saw I was just while I was thinking about it, I saw a prequel novelization to we mentioned King Kong with Andy Serkis. They had a prequel novelization to it. It was before they go on the island. I'm like, so you're gonna make a King Kong novel with no King Kong?
They did it with Alien Covenant. They made a book. Alan Dean Foster wrote. It's called Alien Covenant Origins. It's about terrorists trying to stop the Covenant from flying away because someone had visions of an alien. Is the dumbest things I've ever read.
You know, it's good. The Firefly novels.
I mentioned that in one of the last streams that we had together. There's more novels coming out with Firefly, like 3 or 4 new ones.
There's one coming out this month. I've already pre-ordered it. And then Tim Levin from Dawn of the Jedi is writing one in October, and I will buy it.
It's a writer. Read his alien stuff. It's pretty good.
Okay, well, I'd like to read something else to get the taste of Dawn of the Jedi out of my mouth.
Dawn of the Jedi is one of the most underrated Star Wars books ever written.
Okay, I have a question.
Please do, Jeremy.
I'm sorry. I live in a world where Karen Miller wrote Star Wars books, and she may be the worst author I've ever read.
Can you just boot him?
Well, I have a question, Jeremy. We had a conversation about Adam. You were like, "Hey, which one should I read next?"
Oh yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
So okay, was that an April Fool's thing when you're like, "Yeah, that's an awesome book," Jeremy?
What?
Yeah, it was.
What's up?
When he was like, "Which one should I read first?" and I was like, "Just start from the beginning," because the option was Dawn of the Jedi and
Shadows of Mindor was this other one.
Only fan.
Because I remember you were like, "Oh, dude, that's an awesome book," and I was just
Which
like,
one?
I was like,
Into the Void.
Yeah.
You should prep with
Why is he still talking?
Because the Dawn of the Jedi comics are getting re-released in the fall.
Oh, they are?
Marvel Epic Collection, which you should get because it will make Tales of the Jedi come out next year.
There.
Thank you. Dawn of the Jedi sucked.
I'm just saying, I can't say Dawn of the Jedi is bad when Wild Space exists and Stealth and Siege exist.
Or Rogue Planet. For crying out
I
loud.
don't remember Rogue Planet, but I probably will agree. But Wild Space has the most baffling continuity shift I've ever read in a Star Wars book. How can you take the Clone Wars, like 2 years of the Clone Wars, and put it in 3 months?
If you buy Into the Void and you start reading it, Matthew, you're going to be sitting there with your mandrake in your hand going, what is going on here? This is totally garbage.
I've read it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I've read everything up till, where I'm at now.
Rogue Planet.
Yeah, but I did read the entire New Republic era stuff before I decided to start over.
I'm actually going to finish Darth Bane, and then I realized that there was another Star Wars book I had to read. It was Lost Stars, Matthew.
Yeah, I like that one. It's a good new one.
A lot of people like Lost Stars. Bruce said that's one of the better ones in the new canon.
Yeah, there's a YA novel.
It's crazy that they're one of their first is still one of the best.
That's what he said. He likes that one, and he likes the first Thrawn book.
Yeah.
Those are his 2 favorites. I don't think there's a third one. No. What's the one that you like? Battlefront
Twilight Company.
I think he likes that.
That's a good one.
You didn't like Master and Apprentice?
I don't remember. I don't know. I didn't ask him because I don't know the names of these.
Dark Empire is also going to be in a Epic New Republic Volume 5.
Yes, I am excited. I'm excited for Dark Empire. Then they need to do Crimson Empire, and specifically they need to do Jedi Academy Leviathan, the 4th Jedi Academy story, because no one ever talks about that. In fact, Matt, it's the #1 thing I'm looking forward to on Matt's Expanded Universe is you talking about Jedi Academy Leviathan.
It's coming up every day. I'm recording more videos, and I'm way ahead right now, but I got to edit. And so I'm just taking advantage while I'm here because get as many of these videos cranked out and get ahead. But just by doing that, I've written out a few things, and I can see and it just depends, because I haven't written out the what I want to do with the Young Jedi Knights, but that's where I am right now, writing those episodes out, just seeing, do I want to do these one at a time or two at a time? I just gotta look over the story again, because I remember most of the story. Those things are pretty. I can look at the cover and just remember lots of things from it, which tells you it's a good book. There's one book I looked at. I was like, I have to Wikipedia this. I don't remember this book.
Really, like a novel?
I like a novel.
Was it?
Well, I thought I knew what it was about, and then I read the back and went, "Oh, I don't remember this." And I skimmed through some pages. I went, "I really don't remember this."
Was it the New Rebellion?
Survivor's Quest.
Oh, New Rebellion was horrible too.
I got that mixed up with a Hand of Thrawn duology.
Well,
and
it's basically the same. It's like I think Survivor's Quest is like the epilogue to Visions of the Future. It's just a Luke and Mara. It's like its sole purpose is like Luke and Mara had an adventure while they were newlyweds. That's like its purpose. If they're even married yet, I think they are, because I think that's right after Union.
Yes, they're married now,
and they fight a destroyer droid. I remember that. That's like about all I remember.
That's more than I did. See, I remembered the ideas they had for Survivor Quest. Oh yeah, they're together. That tank's filling it with water. I went, no, that's Hand of Thrawn.
No,
Visions of the Future. I said, oh man, and then I started thinking, oh no, they did this. I'm like, no, that's Spectre of the Past. I was like, I don't remember this.
The thing was, the only reason I remember that one scene I said from Survivor's Quest, someone has art of it that they like painted. That's in the it's in Pablo Hidalgo's book.
Oh really? I need to. You know what? I need to start back and looking at that. I look at it once in a while. That's a good idea. I should just read Survivor's Quest from Pablo's book.
Yeah, I wouldn't read. I don't remember. I've said it's a good book, but I genuinely don't remember it.
It's weird because I want to say it was good, but then again, I'm like, well, if I don't remember that well, it couldn't have been good.
Was it?
There's a lot of
after Outbound Flight. That's what I'm trying to remember, like in publication order.
No. Outbound Flight came out first. I know that because it is the sequel to Outbound Flight more than it is anything else, obviously, because you know what happens in that. But see, I thought that Outbound Flight story hook was in the Hand of Thrawn trilogy. I was all mixed up. But the thing is, with a lot of the Bantam books, though, I remember each and every one, and I love. That's why my reviews are getting longer, because these are just books that I grew up with, and I just remember loving them, remembering where I was, remembering what I was doing, and just each one I pick up and look back over, like, oh, such a great book. And I mean, eventually, when I'm done with all this, it still may be 2021. Trying to remember what's happened in what book. You know what? You're exactly right, All American Cornbread. When it gets to the New Jedi Order, I will have trouble remembering. I won't have trouble remembering who died. I think I can remember that. But on what happened when, I know a few things. Like I know pretty much Vector Prime, Dark Times, Edge of Victory. I don't remember what happened in that one. Batch Point, I do. Dark Journey, I do. Enemy Lines, not really, but I can look and see. I can't see the rest on my bookshelf over there. But
Force, probably remember that one.
So what?
The Unifying Force. That's the end.
Yeah, the end. Destiny's Way, though, I kind of remember a little bit of that. Traitor, there's a few things I remember from that. Star by Star, of course, I remember all that. But the thing is, though, when I finish all these next year, I'll start reading through everything again, because it's been so much fun doing the reviews on it that I want to read it all. But right now, on my reread, it's going to be Tolkien's History of Middle Earth next year in 2021.
Have you seen that movie, Matt Wilkins, the Tolkien that came out?
It sucked. It was awful.
Oh, you didn't like it? I thought it was good.
Matt is the pickiest when it comes to Tolkien.
No. And I was excited to see it. But out of all the interesting things that happened in his life, they picked the most boring. This man had a friendship with C.S. Lewis, the man who did Narnia. I mean, for crying out loud, their relationship is unbelievable to talk about. And there's a third author, I cannot remember his name right now, but he was really popular too. And the three of them had three different tastes. Of course, Tolkien and Lewis were Christians. The third guy wasn't. But so they had intellectual banter between the three of them. And I remember C.S. Lewis said, man, it'd be so much easier if this guy was just out of the conversation. Well, he passed away. And C.S. Lewis was later, no, I think it was Tolkien or C.S. Lewis said, you know what? It's better when we had his point of view in our conversation. So we're missing, even though we didn't agree a lot, I miss his point of view. I miss his perspective on things. And he said it hurt our conversations because we didn't have his perspective anymore. And it was like, that's beautiful. And then the way that Lewis and Tolkien were friends, and they'd grade each other's work, they'd edit each other's work, but not the way you think it was. C.S. Lewis would write, like for the Lays of Beleriand, which is History of Middle-earth, Book 3. We're getting nerdy, kids.
Which is poetry.
It's basically poetry. Yeah, it's everything written in prose because in Lord of the Rings, the elves sing in prose. So he had to take the entire Silmarillion and put it in prose. Okay? This man, you talk about, what's it called? Not ADD, OCD, is that it?
Yeah, he was
When
just
you're obsessed, obsessive compulsive disorder, yeah, OCD. Yeah, he was OCD, man. And so he's doing Lays of Beleriand, and he sends it to C.S. Lewis to grade. C.S. Lewis, and it's in these books, C.S. Lewis sends him a letter back of a group of professors who have uncovered the scrolls from ancient Middle-earth, the Lays of Beleriand. And they're reviewing the Lays of Beleriand and giving their points on this. Like, well, this was vague. What do you think they mean by this? Or this, shouldn't they say this? When he says mountains over here and mountains over there, does that mean there are two mountains? Does that mean they're one? He made a story. Instead of just putting in a red pen everything, he made his own story of these professors reviewing the scroll. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like the Jedi Code, but actually written well.
Yeah.
What I would have liked to see is that Christopher Lee, had played Count Dooku. He actually met J.R.R. Tolkien like when they were both younger, and he said that hey, if you ever make a movie of your Lord of the Rings books, I really want to play Gandalf. And I was just like, oh man, I think that would have been pretty good as Christopher Lee as Gandalf. But by the time they made him, he was pushing late 80s.
Well, he still could have done it. He did Sauron, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, but didn't most of his scenes he was sitting down and they had a.
No, that's the Hobbit. He's standing in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Hobbit, I didn't understand why he was there, except for I was horrified in that third Hobbit movie, aside from its length, because of his teeth in that awful 4K 100 frames a second, or the corn cob that was his teeth.
All American Cornbread has a question.
No, I've watched the show. Show kind of ended on a whimper.
I've never had any interest in the Game of Thrones at all.
If George R.R. Martin ever finishes it, which he won't, I'll read it.
My wife really loved the show. I liked it. All American Cornbread. My wife bought the first Game of Thrones book, so she's gonna start reading them soon. I don't want to read them. I saw the show. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Like I said, I'm Wheel of Time is my big one this year, and Unfinished Tales is something I want to read. Then I want to go back and read History of Middle-earth. Of course, I got the entire Highlander books there, but those books are tiny. They're almost like young adult books, to be honest. I bet I could crack those open in a couple of days and get the whole thing done in a couple of weeks. Because they're really short. They're really short. I mean, you're talking say what?
Review them?
Yeah, probably, since there are no reviews of them. I think that would be nice to do reviews of all of them.
It'd be interesting. I'd watch those just to
go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
To see what else is out there, different stuff. Yeah. It's fun to get into those.
Highlander kick, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get the novels are canon. They are within the canon. And I love me some continuity. So I was like, done.
Next thing, Matt and I will make our Highlander fan film.
I have my sword.
That's actually a good question I was going to ask. Through this quarantine,
I would chop off. You'll have to wait till we're off camera. I would chop off Dylan, but I wouldn't get a quickening. I get depression.
and a love for Armada and Legos.
Well,
Exactly.
well, I was gonna ask, throughout this whole quarantine in the month of April, like, what are you guys hoping to read, like, get done within this whole month? Because some of us I know are either working from home or not at work at all. So,
Depends on. Well, I'm gonna finish Shadowhunter because I'm so close. I'm gonna be working on the early issues of the Star Wars series that became Star Wars Republic. I'll be reading through that series, which went all the way through the Clone Wars. It actually went into the Dark Times briefly. So I'll be reading.
chug. Sorry.
I'm not. I'm out.
I think I'm definitely going to finish Locked, and then I hope to go on to Outbound Flight right after that.
And then read that for 2 years.
No, I'm going to knock that out.
Tomorrow I finish Lord of Chaos. I do my brother's book. I'll hopefully read that in just a few days. And then start on Crown of Thorns. That's the next book in the Wheel of Time series. Then this month, Crossroads of Twilight. And I think that's when The Drudge comes. I think the last 4 books were really slow. And so I'll either stop there and read Unfinished Tales, or read one more Robert Jordan, Path of Daggers, and then read Unfinished Tales. I'm going to need a break in between.
Who took over when Robert Jordan died?
Say what?
Who took over when Robert Jordan died?
Brandon Sanderson, and he did a fan-friggin-tastic job. In fact, I can't be sure, but if I remember, there were 4 books: Crossroads of Twilight, Path of Daggers, Winter's Heart, and Knife of Dreams. They are super slow. I mean, everything, you're just getting bogged down. Right now, Lord of Chaos is okay. It's okay. It's not so bad. But those 4 books, I know there's some 4 books that they're just called The Drudge, because everything takes forever. Because he has
detail.
Yeah, well, he has so many characters now that every character has their own little chapter, and they each move 1 inch in the story. Yeah. Like, there's one whole story arc that takes place over 4 books, but it only takes place in 1 week or 2 weeks. You're like, oh my gosh, when's he going to get there and save his wife? 3-4 books later. I was like, come on, because there's so many characters at that point, he can't spend time on each one. And then Brandon Sanderson says, okay, we're stopping this. And he starts there's 3 novels. The first one, he starts combining everyone together, grouping everyone back together. And then the next one, he takes things a little bit bigger and moves the storyline down. And then the last one, he finishes it. I wasn't happy they did 3 books instead of 1. It's supposed to be 1 book, but Brandon Sanderson said there was so much there that it couldn't fit in 1 novel, and they went ahead and did 3, which I'm fine with. So 3 novels. But it was really good. Brandon Sanderson really picks up the storyline. The characters get better. Everyone's, there's more humor. He'd forgotten to put humor in it anymore. It got all serious and bogged down. And Brandon Sanderson really lined it up, punched it up, and did a great job. If it hadn't ended that well, I would say no one should read these books. Right. Because right now you'll enjoy them. You'll enjoy them up until you get to The Drudge. I think it's the last 4 books. I'll see, but when I get there, I know I'm going to be tired, because reading through those is like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Like, the only reason I was buying Brandon Sanderson's novels was because I wanted to see the ending. I didn't care about the story by then, because I was like, man, this is just too heavy, man. And I was disappointed that I'd read so much, but the ending was pretty good.
I plan to finish Shining, Darth Bane trilogy, No Man's Land, and there's a couple of others I can't remember, but my wife is on top of it. She's already finished the Return of the King. She's starting to read this the Padme book, Queen's Shadow, and something else.
Woman. She doesn't know what she's getting into.
She loves it so far.
Queen's Shadow is where the problem really starts.
What do you? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
What do you plan on watching? I mean, I just finished Tiger King, but besides that, are you watching anything else? Like I'm trying to watch Fear the Walking Dead again, because I hate that show.
Don't bother.
I know, but I got nothing else. So I started back where I left off in season 3. That was last week. I just got to the 4th episode. I just started.
I'm going through. Oh, sorry. Do you want to go first?
I watched that show like Matthew reads books.
Hey, I wanted to ask another question about books before we moved away from it.
Yeah, go for it.
I need a recommendation. When I finish Outbound Flight, should I go to the next EU book, or should I take a break from Star Wars for a minute and read either a Warcraft novel or just a random novelization?
Like I told you when you said this last time, you should read First Blood. I think you would really enjoy it. It's something that you normally don't read, and I think you'll get something out of it.
I recommend Godzilla.
Which one?
Either, if you have it, either the 98 one or the new ones.
I've got both of them. Yeah.
Have you read Jurassic Park and Lost World?
I have.
I haven't. I have Jurassic Park. I don't have the Lost World.
That is a phenomenal 2-book series. It's a phenomenal.
It is. I love it.
Way better than the movie, which
might just throw them in a box, close my eyes, shake up the box, and pull out a book.
If you do that, you have to do it live.
Okay, yeah, that might be a good idea. And then I have to hold it to everybody. Everybody's holding me against it. Whatever.
Yeah, then you got to buy multiple copies of the books you actually want to read, and just be like,
No. He shows us an empty box and puts them in one at a time, and then shakes them all up, and then asks his wife to come in and pick out a book. His wife's gonna be like, "Why am I doing this?" Don't look.
As for the TV shows, go ahead, Jeremy.
So I'll be watching Dave Filoni's Clone Wars and hating it. But I watch more movies than I do TV shows. I've been going through Stanley Kubrick's filmography. So I just watched Clockwork Orange. And moving on to the movie of The Shining. So we can get my opinion soon on that. Also just finished watching 2001: A Space Odyssey, which was a chore to do sober. Can you not act like a Muppet?
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, the All-American Cornbread said the books are not nearly as perverse as the show is for Game of Thrones. So I forgot that.
Oh, well, then I'm totally out then.
Well, the first season of Game of Thrones was just to be an HBO series. There was so much.
All American Cornbread. Let me tell you something. The Spartacus books are just as perverse as the show is.
I've seen part of the Spartacus show. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, don't watch that with Grandma.
Have any of you watched the series Rome? Came out I think it was an
Stars a long time. No, I thought it was Stars.
I don't remember. It could have been Showtime. We rented it on DVDs when you could rent DVDs seasons.
Oh, you know what? It may have been, but I know they spent tons of money. That was one of those big budget TV shows.
I remember because I watched it as a child and then being sent out of the room over and over and over again.
Matthew, what are you reading? I mean, watching.
Well, we finished The Tiger King,
and
then we started watching a movie, What Lies Beneath. I saw that one a long time ago, but TV show. TV show, I don't know. We haven't heard anything.
I'm done. Done with this.
Yeah, there you are. Oh, wrong way.
Okay. Matt Wilkins, what are you going to be watching?
No, Matthew, did you finish?
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt.
No, fine. It's whatever. You don't want to hear what I have to say.
It's probably going to watch Real Ghostbusters.
I do, and to show you that I do want you to hear it. There we go. What are you going to be listening to?
Listening to?
Or reading, I'm sorry. Or watching.
Well, my 3-year-old now, he's watching The Real Ghostbusters, so I was listening to that as I was working today. But I don't have anything that I'm really have anything that I'm interested in, like that I want to watch. I mean, just a bunch of random movies on Netflix, like Tremors. I would like to rewatch that whole series, even the crappy sequels. And okay. Ugh.
I'm Matt Wilkins.
Hold on. Tremors is fantastic.
Oh yeah, Tremors is one of my favorite films of all time.
Do you have the TV show?
No.
That should be on DVD too, I think. All 13 episodes. They're great.
TV show?
Yeah, it was a Sci-Fi Channel show.
It takes place in between 3 and 4, but 4 is a prequel. But it takes place after 3. It stays in continuity with everything else. It's starring Michael Gross.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi Channel did it for 1 season. Unfortunately, it didn't get much traction, but it was pretty good for a TV show. It wasn't that bad. It had shriekers and ass blasters in it, and the regular. There's only one worm left.
I remember. Wasn't there an episode where he was internet dating? Isn't that an episode on Tremors?
I can't remember, but I can't. I don't want to spoil it, but one of my favorite ones, I think, is when the heat seekers are in, and the backup. The power goes out, and the lights come back on. He's like, backup generator, and then later on they get to the backup generator, and the lights go out again. He went, well, Bert, there goes your backup generator, and then the lights come back on, and it shows Bert again. He went, backup generator. It's true. That's my favorite line in the whole show. It's hilarious. It's a really good show, but it only went 13 episodes. But the thing is, let me see. The worst movies are 4. 4 is the prequel is really.
It's the Western.
It's a Western, and
Black Hand Kelly.
They had zero money, and then sadly, 6 is not that good.
Well, decided they were going to film Antarctica and South Africa. Yeah. What did you expect?
They changed the lens to make the sand look like snow, even though you can tell it's sand. It's not snow. I mean, they put a blue tint on everything, and it was like, oh, that's like a college kid thing to do.
That's for night stuff. Like, you don't do that.
Well, you don't have any budget, so you'd make cheap effects. I was like, oh, don't do that, guys. And it had a lot of that in it. I was like, come on. But the 7th one looks really good. I can't wait. I hope it's still coming out.
Really?
Rob D actually mentioned
John Hitter's in it.
Okay. It's one of my favorite lines from the Tremors movies. I think it was the second one. And he's like, note to self, 4 pounds of C4 is a little excessive. I don't know why.
He's covered in guts. Went, I'm completely out of ammo. I don't think I've done nothing before. The second one is the best one. It's better than the first one, in my opinion. I absolutely love it.
I liked in the second one where they're all laying out on the rock at night, and that you hear that coyote, and just like, is that a coyote? So I was like, yep. They're like, he better be quiet. Then you hear the grab him in the background.
No, he's got that big old Vernon. He's got that big old rifle, whatever, and he shoots it, and it goes to. They're following the bullet hole, and it's like through a concrete wall, through a barrel, through a car, and it just blew up that shrieker everywhere. He's like, "Good shot, Bert." And he goes, "Doing what I can with what I got."
I can't wait to do a marathon of these things.
I like that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say at the end, I like whenever Bert just throws that bomb into. Or no, it was not Bert. What's his name? I can't remember.
Kevin Bacon.
Not Kevin Bacon. It was
Fred Ward.
Fred Ward. Yeah.
His character.
Yeah, he threw the bomb into Bert's truck, and then he just said like, "It's like I just threw it in there." He's just like, "We gotta go." And it's just like, "It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big." And he says it like 25 times, and the other guy was like, "Is it gonna be today?"
The one where he's showing all the things the Mexican government gave him, and they see this big old like Gatling gun. He's like, "Bert, what's that?" And he puts a cover back over it. Oh, that's for my personal collection.
I liked when Bert gave him the MREs, the meals ready to eat. He was just like, "Oh yeah, it's got all of this, and even has toilet paper in there for you." And then you hear him later trying to eat it. He's like, "Man, this thing tastes terrible." He's like, "Bert, that's the It's like, "Hey man, that's the toilet paper." But I was gonna say, Rob D actually mentioned right here. How was The Invisible Man? I was actually curious about watching that.
I was excited for it. It's like the only thing you can do after Hollow Man, another Kevin Bacon film.
Well, I heard they're remaking those Universal monster movies.
Of course they are. They've been trying to do that for like a decade now.
Well, I heard
twice. They had their Dracula Untold, their Lord of the Rings ripoff movie,
and Van Helsing.
Well, that's not a film. But
okay, I'm gonna be honest. Van Helsing is a guilty pleasure.
The Tom Cruise Mummy movie is what I was getting at when they decided they were going to make Uncharted into a movie with a mummy in it.
I had no interest in watching that.
What movies did I see? I saw 1917.
You beat me on that.
And I saw, Megan, I watched Birds of Prey.
Shame on you.
It's bad.
To be fair, my ex made me watch the director's cut of Suicide Squad, which was worse than the theatrical version of Suicide Squad.
I saw the new Grudge movie, which is not a reboot. It takes place in between 1 and 2.
Yeah, I saw that from the trailer.
I didn't know that. I thought it was a reboot. But the thing is, it looks like a direct-to-DVD, poorly made sequel. It's horrible. And you're talking to someone who actually enjoyed Grudge 3, which did go direct to DVD.
So
Grudge 3 went direct to DVD, but it was actually pretty decent. I enjoyed it.
I thought Grudge 2 was really bad.
I like Grudge 2. But Grudge 2 is bad because they have to go into the origin and explain more, and I hate when they do that.
But like, I didn't care for Grudge because Ju-On is a better movie. I get with that. We have to.
I need to go back and watch that. And I'm going to say the Grudge movie because has anyone seen Rings?
Rings. Oh, remember when they all get the video on their phones on the airplane? That's like the only thing I remember from Rings. I remember laughing hysterically.
Rings is horrible.
Remember the Ring 2 with the deer scene with all the cartoon deer? They were trying to redo the horse scene in the first Ring movie.
You know what's a fun movie, but it's a little gross, like gore gross? Cabin Fever.
I just watched Cabin Fever.
You did? I have both of those movies, but they're really gross.
Red Letter Media just hit it on review. It's so awful.
Oh, they did. That's right.
Yeah, and I always try to watch, except for I couldn't sit through all of Pink Flamingos, but I always try to watch what they review.
Oh, it's gory. It's really gory.
It's just awful because Eli Roth makes terrible movies.
I thought it was a fun movie, but it's extremely gory. So.
I mean, it's better than Green Inferno. Is cannibal movie, but I mean, like most things are.
Is Grudge versus the Ring canon? That was asked by All American Cornbread.
Was that a thing?
I don't know.
I've never heard of this.
Oh no, me neither. I thought he was just saying Grudge versus Ring.
I know they did Freddy versus Jason, but
yeah,
the novelizations for the Friday the 13th movies are really hard to find and really expensive.
Well, I thought you did that for Halloween too.
Yeah, Halloween is
Halloween and Friday the 13th. They're both pretty hard to get. I said they're really hard to find. I would love to have them. I don't know why, but I mean,
it'd be a fun like collector's piece.
Does Halloween the novel? Does it?
It tries to explain what Michael Myers is, and that it's the embodiment of someone who did a pagan ritual back in colonial times to get revenge because he didn't get the girl. As I recall, because I used to have a PDF of this on my computer that I paid $50, by the way, for because I had to read this.
That book is pretty expensive.
I think I only know from the...
Yes, that wasn't a physical copy. You can't find a physical copy.
Wow.
Of the Halloween books, all I think I know is that, one, it reveals that Michael Myers can talk. He just chooses not to. And two, his middle name is Audrey, I think. What the heck?
I remember I read the 2018 Halloween.
There's a chupacabra on the screen.
I know. I was just like, what?
What is that?
Terror dog from Ghostbusters. It was in a package of a toy that I gave the kid for his birthday. I had this. He just turned 3 on Tuesday, and you can't get out and go anywhere. So I like have this action figure in my attic that I've been like collecting since 2007 when he's like Ghostbusters 25-year anniversary things. I was like, I'm just gonna give that to him.
So we all have kids with birthdays in April. The only difference between us and Jeremy is Jeremy didn't know that his kid's birthday's in April. But
I don't have a child, so
they haven't told you yet. Anyway,
yes, they have. I can email you the DNA.
No. There is another, like Yoda said. There is another. Anyway, so, what are you planning to do, Matthew, for their stay-at-home birthday? How are you going to make? He's turning 4.
He just turned 3 on March 31st.
Oh, okay.
We were going to have a party last Saturday, but all this chaos, we're like, well, I guess we'll just have to postpone it and have some celebration with all the family and all that later on.
Did you do anything fun for his birthday?
We made some decorations, like Ghostbuster stuff that we hung up around the house. Let's see if I can pull up a picture.
You guys we gave him double ramen noodles that night before we went to bed.
And we let him dress up in his Ghostbuster suit, and I put some decorations out.
Oh, you let him? I'm sure Daddy dressed up too.
I didn't actually, but I made a craft.
Yeah, I got you.
Don't like how the lighting's. There we go. Can you see it?
Yeah,
it's Slimer. I made this is the construction paper. I haven't done this stuff in years. And then Gozer.
Nice.
And then my favorite one, I made a terror dog. So I did the best I could.
So has your son actually seen the films?
Oh, yeah, he's obsessed with it.
Okay.
He's obsessed. But so like I had this collector figure in my attic forever, and I was like,
it's true. This man has no dick.
Yeah. It's inappropriate. It's like I saw a movie when I was 3.
I didn't see it till I was like 14, but that's because it got like a special edition DVD release at that time, and my mom just bought it, and then I watched it. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful.
So your kid went around busting ghost.
Yeah. We did a little slime hunt. Like we had these little canisters of slime that we ordered on Amazon. We went and just put them out in the backyard and let them run around and like collect all the slime. So it was fun.
That's fine.
I was gonna confess, I was 21.
You saw Ghostbusters, or when
21.
you first kissed a girl? Either is plausible and acceptable.
It was at the same time.
Yeah, that's funny. Hey, Jeremy. Anyway.
I was 22. Okay, so Adam,
yes.
What do you? When is your birth? When's your kid's birthday?
The 16th.
And what's the plan? I heard you could put slime around your
backyard
and have them collect it.
I have honestly no idea. We're still trying to figure it out. I mean, we talked about just maybe getting like a cake for her to eat and just videoing it and sending it to family. And then whenever all this blows over, having a party for that.
You're throwing a party, aren't you? You're inviting a bunch of people to your house. You're breaking the law, aren't you?
No, I am not doing that. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm glad.
okay. You guys gotta understand. Like, you guys boot me all the time, so I'm kind of.
This is what I like.
Hey, Jeremy.
Peon. Yes.
Keep him.
Well, I don't know.
What are you gonna do, Matt?
Yeah.
Well, I think it is urgent that we have a birthday party. So I think
oh yeah, there's gonna be one.
we're going to invite essential people
Yeah.
So
to
me,
the birthday party.
you can fly me out so that way I can never come back to California, basically.
I have a buddy. I have a buddy who his kid is on. Well, he's a teenager. He feels really bad because they were gonna get steaks, cook them for all his friends, come on over, have a big party. He's like, "What should I do?" It's on April 6th. I went, "Well," I said, "bring all his essential friends over." He said, "If I give them all masks," I went, "Sure."
Sure.
We need to put up this all American
we're number 2 in spreading the virus anyway in the U.S. and we're number 1 per capita. So what does it make? It doesn't make a difference for Louisiana. We have more deaths than California. Ha! We're beating you. We're number 1. We're number 1.
We're number 50 in test results.
Yes,
Do you know
Really?
that? We're the worst state in getting people tested.
Oh, test results.
Figured it'd be Oklahoma.
Yeah, Rob D said he's seen the first Ghostbusters film a few months ago. He's got to watch the second one.
Yeah.
All American Bread is the most genius thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my gosh. That kind of reminds me. I saw this show in Branson, Missouri one time, and it was a comedy show, and they asked this character who's just like, he looks out to this random lady in the audience, like, that gal right there looks like my third wife. He's like, oh wow, you've been married 3 times? Like, nah, twice. You know.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I don't know. We're gonna do something. My wife wanted to invite a lot of people. I said, well, probably can't get away with that, but a few people.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just one of those things. But it's their first birthday, so it's not really that they're gonna remember anything. But we're gonna give them like little cupcakes or something like that. I think my sister's gonna make some stuff. She runs a bakery, and so she's gonna make them some little cakes, and they're gonna eat maybe 1 bite, 2 bites of cake, and then they're gonna want out of their chair and cry because they got cake on their hand, and then they're gonna want to go play with the bag. They're gonna skip all their presents and just chew on paper. They love paper more than anything, man. Paper, cardboard boxes, trash. Just give us that. I still don't think you should buy any of your kids presents until they're like 4.
It's true.
Because well, maybe 3, but at 1 and 2, all they care about the box that thing came in more than they care about the toy.
Uh-oh.
You'll have that.
Yeah,
neighbor,
it's definitely going to be less than 10 people.
You'll have that neighbor that's like peeking through the blinds and sees all the cars in the parking lot. Just have them pick up
We're going to pack 20 people in a school bus.
People. Just in the back of a van. Just pouring out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, I think the government said, like, for urgent or essential stuff should be open. And I told my board game group, I think it's essential that we play board games. They were laughing. But yeah.
From what I know,
I've decided not to shave for 30 days. So that was on March 30th. So
as long as the quarantine happens. After watching The Tiger King, I told my wife, it's like, well, I'm going to have a long way to go, but see how this quarantine goes. I might have a mullet by the end of it.
I was telling Matt the other day, like, yeah, I shaved yesterday. This is.
I mean, I had to shave yesterday. Yeah, yesterday because I had to go to the dermatologist because I found out I have psoriasis.
Oh yeah.
On my face and in my scalp.
He sent us pictures.
Yeah.
Why would you? I'm glad you didn't send me pictures. I don't want to see it. Oh, I thought you were going to show me a picture of psoriasis.
Dude, you want to see my psoriasis?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Dude, that is great.
Oh,
Dude,
sorry.
no wonder your wife loves you.
She's like, no. Go shave that off your face.
Did you smile?
Like, oh, man.
But honey, with this stash, I can't come within 30 yards of a school. Come on.
Need my soup strainer.
There you go.
The ones that peek through. We have one of those. My dad, he has his work truck, his old beat up truck, where it's like an old Dodge. It looks junky. Well, when we first bought our house, he'd come. He just pulls up, parks it by the mailbox, and then like 10 minutes later, the cops are out front. It's like, do you guys know this truck? And my dad's like, yeah, that's mine. Like, okay, we had a neighbor that didn't recognize the truck, and I was like, okay. So
Yeah,
it's happened to my dad twice. When him and my mom came like driving their nice truck, pulled up, looking at the house because we just installed like some new lights by the garage doors, and they wanted to see it. So they drove by, creeped by, and then the cops pulled them over and was like, what are you guys creeping in front of houses for? It's like, oh, that's my kids live there. We're just checking out the lights that they installed. Insane.
I was like, okay, I'm watching you,
Yeah. Everybody's got that neighbor.
Mine's just a crazy cat lady. She gets mad at the kid. There's these kids that live on our street that formed a Slayer cover band, and they have concerts on the weekends. And you bet that she loses her mind when Raining Blood starts playing for like 10 minutes, and you bet the police are called. Every time. These kids, they're good kids. They always like tell us that they're going to have a concert. It's like, okay, I'd go over there, but I'm like 25, and that'd be weird to go to a high school concert.
Yeah. You'd be that weirdo that. Yeah, but anyway, All American Cornbread said something that was down there that I think he should definitely do.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we were talking earlier about like what shows or movies we were gonna watch. I was gonna say I've been wanting to finish the X-Files. I just started it recently.
Is it on Netflix again?
I thought it was on Hulu.
Oh,
It's definitely on Disney Plus. I mean, it could be because they own 20th Century Fox. So I mean, like,
I looked for it whenever it came out because I heard that it was going to be there, and guess what? It wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what actually is there though? The Rocketeer. Have any of you guys seen that movie?
Yeah,
I saw it at the drive-in theater over there.
That's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go, Matthew.
That's good.
Matt Wilkins, I don't think we asked you like what TV shows were you going to watch or films?
Oh well, obviously the one that the best movie never made. Is that what you said, Jeremy?
The greatest movie ever sold.
I want to watch that one now, and I'm slowly peeling through Fear the Walking Dead. Just something to fill my time.
Walking Dead is bad enough, but
we watched season 1. We hated it, and then I decided to give it a second shot, and we watched season 2, and I said, no, this is garbage. And then we sat there, but now I'm like, well, I got nothing to watch. And the new one's coming out, Worlds Apart. I'm like,
what?
You know, that Walking Dead Worlds Apart is the next spinoff.
Why are they doing spinoffs? The show gets the worst ratings.
I know. But I was like, well, I may see that. And I went, well, let me see if I can go back and watch Fear the Walking Dead to remind me why I don't watch spinoffs. Even the main series now is just getting kind of old.
It was old at season 2.
I can't remember what season it was, but it was the season where Negan's coming for like a whole season. We didn't get to see Negan to the last 2 minutes of the last episode. That's when I said, okay,
5, I think 5 or 6.
Yeah, so that's when it started running too long in the tooth for me. I was like, man, this is forever. But they're about to end the series anyway. I think they've only got one more season because they're already building up to the comic book storyline.
Aren't they making a movie?
Yeah, it's of Rick Grimes.
Is it going to be like the made-for-TV movie?
Yeah.
With 2 parts or so. You can buy it on
DVD. Stone's going to be in it now, since they just recently wrote her off because she went to go find Rick Grimes because Rick Grimes is alive. They know, or she knows.
Yeah, I dropped off.
I did this in the comic. I just want to say that this was never a dumb plot line in the comic.
No, but the comic book ended just right. I just finished the comic book not too long ago. I think
You're ahead of me.
Okay,
really?
I got to show this.
Sure.
Good.
You know what? I understand exactly how you feel.
When it comes to reading,
Matthew, I'm a little behind. I read your little comment there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would say that you're correct. The last 2 issues are just kind of really.
I felt like that when I was reading Rogue Planet.
The cool thing, I got sick of it right when they started introducing the Whisperers, and that's when I stopped because I was at that point I was reading it monthly. I could not handle that.
I enjoyed the Whispers. The next series, it starts to get repetitive. The next story arc is the last story arc, and it's good because that one. I said, wait a minute, this is basically the same thing we've seen before. And I think Robert Kirkman knew that. And he's like, you know what? I'm doing the same thing. I may as well. He didn't go. He could have gone. He ended on 196 or 197. Okay, one night thing. And he could have stretched it out for 7 more issues and end at 200, but he's like, no, you know what? I'm done.
And I appreciate that. That's why I want to go back and
Yeah.
I'm going to start from issue 1 and work my way.
But I think he knew that his story he was working with right now is just a retread of something he's already done. I mean, a different type, but basically the same thing. He went, you know what? I have nowhere else to go. I need to stop it here before I get too repetitive. And well, don't spoil anything, All American Cornbread, but yes,
Yeah,
that's just it's disappointing how it ended, and it kind of just came to a. I mean, it ended. Don't worry about that. It ended, but it's just kind of, I don't know, not the best ending.
this is actually a good question down here. Like, what is the #1 TV show you feel went on too long, and what is the one canceled that you wish continued?
Firefly is the one that I wish they would have continued.
I was actually gonna. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
No, X-Files. They should have canceled a long time ago. But to be honest, the new 2 seasons, Matthew, the season, what were they? 11 and 12.
10 and 11.
10 and 11 are actually really good. They're a lot of fun. But those last few seasons of
8 and 9 are really bad.
Say what? When Agent Rios.
Oh yeah, season 9 is almost unwatchable.
But season 10 or 11, what they do to Rios is really nice.
I wanted to watch the X-Files so bad. I was watching it when it was on Netflix. I made it into season 2 somewhere, and then they removed it. It's like it was one of those shows to me that was so tacky. It was just like fun to watch. Like they're all running around with their gun in their hand with their finger on the trigger. Like you don't do that. It's just one of those like.
It was the 90s. We did that in the 90s.
Yeah, it was like walking around with a gun, pointing it. Like,
do you know what was an underrated TV show? The Lone Gunman, their spinoff. Really funny. Well, because it reminded me a bunch of they're those conspiracy theorists, and they used. I knew a guy who was a conspiracy theorist, and it was right up. I mean, they were all 3 of them one of them acted just like my buddy, and I was laughing. I was like, "Shut up!" They got into his head because I bet they talked to one of those conspiracy theorists and wrote out their script, making fun of conspiracy theorists and doing, and then of course proving them right because it is a government plot, and stuff like that. It was a little bit more humorous than X-Files,
people didn't like about it.
But I enjoyed it. I thought X-Files was getting too,
Oh yeah, well they were getting stuck on the alien plot line.
Yeah, and so Lone Gunman was a refreshing, funny. Thing.
I will say this though, season 9 has 2 of my favorite episodes, and they both have Reyes in them, and they're the only 2 good episodes she's in. One is the one with Burt Reynolds when they're playing chess with him, and they're stuck in the parking structure.
Oh gosh, I don't remember that.
It's so bizarre. And the other one is she dies and like goes to purgatory for an episode, and it's bizarre. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I don't like any. I like that she dies, but unfortunately, she comes back. I didn't like that episode.
Yeah. For me,
you know what? I didn't mind Agent Doggett.
No, he was.
I really enjoyed Agent Doggett. He replaced Mulder, and you're thinking, "No way, I'm going to like this dude." But he's actually he's really good. He's really interesting. And then who they got to replace Scully? You're like, "Oh, okay."
I was gonna say I was actually checking. Firefly is actually on Hulu, and I've never seen it, so I might check that out while we're all at home.
13 episodes. You'll finish it in 2 days. It's really good, though, but watch Serenity, the movie, afterwards.
Okay.
I've seen the movie. I haven't watched the show.
I also bought the 1998 Godzilla, the Roland Emmerich film. I bought the full animated series that came after that. I've only seen a few episodes, so I'm going to maybe finish that.
What was that again?
The 1998 Godzilla film, they had a... Say what?
They had a cartoon series?
Yeah, they had a cartoon series afterwards. There was like 2 seasons.
What? How many seasons? 2? Wow.
It was kind of based loosely on the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla show where they have these group of people have the ability to have this device that summons Godzilla.
Do you know what else had a cartoon show?
What's that?
Highlander.
Yes, they did, and it's really awful.
I was
Watch it. Don't. Yeah, it is. It is bad.
was gonna say they did a cartoon show, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask.
I remember The Mask. We used to watch The Mask. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
The Real Ghostbusters.
The Real Ghost.
The Real Ghost, which was actually a pretty good show. I remember liking that.
Didn't RoboCop get a cartoon?
Probably.
I think it did, and it was canceled like immediately. Spawn. That was an awesome one. That was a Spawn movie.
This has nothing to do with any movies, but Matt, do you remember the Gummy Bears cartoon?
Yeah.
I love that. And there was one that I can never remember the name to. There were these dinosaurs that had like robotic things on them. It was like the same time period. And I can never remember what it was. I think there were kids that were involved.
No. You're thinking about Terrible Thunder Lizards.
Was it?
They were mic'd up. They had mics.
Right.
Because they were commandos. And they were hunting the two cavemen.
Okay, what was it? What did you say it was called?
Terrible Thunder Lizards. It's from Eek the Cat TV show. It was one of their side cartoons. It was absolutely hilarious.
No, that's not the one. No.
Denver the Last Dinosaur.
The ones that I remember, it was like more of a serious type thing. It had some really cool
Was it
animation.
live?
No, it was a cartoon. It was back in that same time period with like gummy bears and Ewoks. And,
Dinosaurs?
mm-hmm.
I was actually gonna real quick. I'm gonna say
Land of the Lost.
I'm just gonna say that Baywatch Nights got canceled too soon when they decided that.
Please boot him. Goodness gracious. Baywatch Nights.
Do you remember what I'm talking about, though, Matt?
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're thinking with your mandrake. Think
It's
of something
so awful.
ridiculous.
I just love that. Oh God, who is that? Who's the lead in Baywatch?
Matthew, did you look up Terrible Thunder Lizards?
I did. I'm seeing something else. Dino Riders, maybe.
Oh, maybe. I never saw that. Yeah, that was a cartoon.
That looks familiar.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
Oh, wow. No, I never saw that.
Dude, that's gnarly.
I was gonna say real quick. I agree with All American Cornbread. I actually enjoyed Daredevil and Punisher. And
Wasn't Punisher?
Jessica Jones did go too long. It should have only gone 3 episodes instead of 3 seasons.
It shouldn't have gone a single episode.
It's more than just like dinosaurs. It's like other little alien type creatures in there too.
Iron Fist also went too long.
I did not like Iron Fist.
Yeah, that guy can't do martial arts. Don't.
Shut up. I like Iron Fist. I thought it was pretty good.
The garbage. Oh, thank God. Also, what was the Luke Cage was bad too.
I liked the first season of Luke Cage.
I couldn't finish the first season of Luke Cage. It was so boring. But in my opinion, Buffy the Vampire Slayer went way too many seasons.
If my wife was here, she would have booted you for life for saying that.
I disagree with that.
I know they've got books. I never watched the show though.
I was done.
I never watched the show. I see the books all the time in the half price bookstore.
I recommend like the first 4 or 5 seasons. Season 6 is a little much, and then season 7 is stupid. But it's like Joss Whedon either does a series where it goes too long or it gets canceled too soon, because Firefly got canceled too soon. Angel got canceled too soon.
Have you guys seen this show? Street Sharks?
Mm-mm.
I remember that.
I love that show. Like
I remember the toys.
Like I was sad when they canceled it.
Yeah.
I heard the first season's hard to find, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Rob D. To answer my own question, Family Guy definitely needs to end. You know, I kind of agree with that. They're kind of, I mean,
Every episode. Ooh, it's a reference. Remember when I got fish from Muhammad? That's the South Park parody of.
I hated that show. I think it's stupid.
Of Family Guy.
but South Park.
I was more into South Park. I thought that was fun.
I thought you said you hated South Park.
Family Guy. I didn't like that.
I mean, South Park needs to end. I mean, they're now like a sitcom.
That thing's been on forever too.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I hear a baby or a door squeaking. But there is still a baby. I knew it.
And potentially mom off camera.
What do you guys have over? What's something cool by your desk that you have on your desk?
Lube.
Anyway, what's something cool?
Oh gosh. I've got a Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood notepad. Well, like sticky notes.
I got a CD of Spirited Away.
A CD?
Yeah.
Soundtrack?
A thrift store for $1.50.
Nice.
Also, I have. Oh, Matt would love this. A torrented, like a bootleg Highlander soundtrack.
eBay? Did you get it on eBay?
Yeah.
I think
it was the same seller that, dare I say, I found it.
Oh, yeah.
The Force Awakens CD.
Somebody needs to do that for the Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. I like the music.
And they need to do it for Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Another good one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember playing that game. I had that on a computer. Played it in college.
I have it still on the computer. You can get it really cheap.
Yeah.
On Steam.
I started Jedi Academy.
Nice. What are you playing it on?
The PS4.
Oh, okay. I have it on PC, so it's like.
South Park will never end because there will always be stupid people that all the means trying to make fun of. Yeah.
Until the creators die.
Yeah.
But All American Cornbread, the cool thing he has by his desk.
Ew. I have a Funko Pop here too, which I've shown you guys before too. The dragon.
Oh, you said pop. Not what I heard.
I have this.
I got quart storage bags I found under the bed yesterday.
That's awesome. It's stupid.
What else do I have?
All American Cornbread loves Jedi Academy, but he likes playing as Kel Dor, and the voice doesn't fit.
Oh yeah.
I just started. So
I always played as the canon, so human male. That's who Jaden Core is.
He has a yellow lightsaber, correct?
Yes, I think so.
Because go ahead, Matthew.
I remember I played the Jedi Academy and the Jedi Outcast games. I wish I paid attention to the story. I didn't. Whenever I played games, even now, sometimes I'm like, I don't care about the story. I'm just playing, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish that I would have paid attention to the storyline back then when I played. It'd make more sense, you know.
All of the Dark Forces stuff is fun. I mean, they made books out of the first two games. They were done by Dark Horse, and you will never find them again new. They will never reprint those.
Yeah.
Big cease and desist from Bantam for those.
Wild.
They're fun. I've shown them on live streams before. So.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I forgot what I was going to look for.
Dude, who are you?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
You?
I don't know who I am.
I don't know. Just here.
Do I have food?
Time to go to the grocery store. Have you guys gone out in public?
Yeah, I get coffee every morning.
You don't make it at home?
No. I don't have space for a coffee.
Get a percolator.
I am not getting a percolator.
It's an electric one.
I don't care. I don't want it. What I do want is these cashews I just found on my
You can get that percolator, just have it in your room. All you have to do is fill it up with water in the morning, put your little coffee in there. And
there isn't going to be a gorgeous lady in the lingerie.
Oh, yeah, you go to that one coffee shop that you've told me about. No, I know. I get it now. Okay.
Actually, no. I'm actually good friends with most of the people that work there.
Okay.
I guess I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today.
Okay.
That's your prerogative. I'm going to continue.
Just gonna sit here and talk to my computer.
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear Jeremy eat.
Oh, fine.
I'm kidding.
He shoves nuts in his mouth all the time.
I was about to say, like, all we need now is Dylan's quarters or something.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Nothing's like Dylan's quarters.
But guys, thank you so much for joining me, and Jeremy, congrats on winning the trivia tonight.
Thank you.
And I will, I'll be trying to figure out how to send that to you, and probably email maybe.
Okay.
Or
send it via fax.
Fax.
Send it in an AOL.
Send it carrier pigeon.
Send it via MySpace.
MySpace. Oh my gosh.
Send it like just send it via flare or something, like just shoot a flare up in the sky. By the time you get like it burned.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having on here doing this. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Wish I could have done better.
And don't worry, next one will be all Ghostbusters trivia. So
sounds good to me.
And I'll tell you what, Matthew, I'll let you write the questions. And
hey, that'd be fun. I can do that. I can do that for you.
And I'll let you answer them too.
We'll give you the questions and you'll just answer them.
Yeah. I can just see him like, okay, here's the trivia. So, question to me: what happened to this part? Oh, I know that one.
Yeah. What happens at the 5-minute, 3-second mark? I don't know.
But anybody, thank you guys also in the chat room for joining us today. And like I said, we'll try to do this like every other week. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks we'll have another trivia night. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much, and you guys all stay safe and take care of yourself. And we will see you guys next time.
Wash those hands.
Yeah, wash those hands
With urine.